upstairs, too. See you from there. So long, everybody. Stay tuned for the post-game show in the dugout in the clubhouse in a moment. Our next telecast will be tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Chicago time. The Cubs take on the Montreal Expos here on Channel 9. Our executive producer director, Artie Harris. Final score, the Cubs win their division. Harry Carey from Montreal. So long, everybody.
It's an absolutely insane locker room scene as all the emotion of this year finally breaking loose for the Cubs. And the man who sent him into delirium is the man standing next to me, Mitch Williams. And Mitch, the last pitch of the ball game, have you thrown any pitch this year harder than that one?
I don't know if I've thrown any harder, but that was all I had tonight, and I just want to thank God, my family, and my teammates for being a part of such a thing as this.
How exciting was the final part of that ball game? Everybody on the bench, all on their feet, everybody just going crazy, and you out on the mound trying to maintain your composure, and you did a pretty good job of it.
Oh, it's the excitement's unbelievable. I've never been a part of this, and to come here my first year here and be a part of something like this, there's no explaining the excitement.
You know, you guys have said all along that you weren't feeling any pressure, and you played down the stretch like you weren't feeling any pressure. This ball club won all the games they had to win. Tonight was no exception. You knew St. Louis had lost earlier, the magic number down to 1. What was the feeling on that bench when you saw the score flash up that the Cardinals had lost to Pittsburgh?
We needed to win. We knew that all we had to do was win this game, and we'd get it over with. Go into St. Louis with nothing on the line other than the fact to get ready for the playoffs, and that's what we felt. And then that ball that Schmitty hit when Rhino scored, that was a shot in the arm. That's all we needed.
Mitch, you've had your personal ups and downs this year. Most of the year has been up. Your 36 saves tonight. And you came here with a lot of pressure in this trade. It was a Rafael Palmeiro deal. That's all we heard about all winter. Now it's become the Mitch Williams deal. When you came here and Don Zimmer said, "You're my man, here's the ball," it had to give you a great deal of confidence.
A huge amount of confidence. I mean, Zim is running back out there after I've stunk. He just gives me the opportunity to pitch, and that's all you can ask for as a player. He gives me more confidence than anybody I've ever played in front of.
When you go out there in a ball game like this, do you think about anything else except trying to get the hitter out?
No, I just wanted to hold the guy close to second base because I didn't want him on third with one out. All I want to do is get the hitter. Everything starts with the hitter.
Well, congratulations to you. It was a magnificent year. Go celebrate with the rest of the guys. Les Lancaster grabbing Mitch Williams. The clubhouse continues. I'm going to have Greg Maddux coming up in a minute. Greg Maddux, the man who won number 19 tonight. And how did that feel to you?
Winning?
The whole thing.
Good. I mean, it's good. I think we accomplished something that I don't think many people thought we were going to accomplish. And I'm pretty much proud to be a part of it.
You know, you said all along that I don't care about 20 wins. It doesn't matter the number of wins I get personally. The only thing that matters is that the team won. You knew before you went out there at the end of the ball game that St. Louis had lost tonight. You knew that if you won this, that all of this clubhouse celebrating would go on. Did you go out with any different attitude later in the game?
I try not to let myself do it, but I did. I mean, it was the nervous I've been in a while since my first or second game a couple years ago.
You know, you went through a period earlier this year when you weren't throwing the ball. You didn't get off to the kind of start you got off to last year. Did you ever start to doubt yourself, or did you think it's going to come around? I'm a good enough pitcher to turn everything around.
I think it's only natural that you start to doubt yourself a little bit, but you make a couple bad pitches and guys hit balls right at people, and it's all worth it.
That was John Fierro pouring a little champagne on your head. You know, there was some tension, but this ball club didn't exhibit any signs of a tense team. They've been a loose bunch since the beginning as Rick Sutcliffe is coming up, and he's going to get me. Oh, no.
We've done this once before, right?
Yes, we have. I got the same jacket on when I clinched it the last time. Congratulations. A great year for you. A great year for you.
We wouldn't have done it without him.
Oh, it's terrific, wasn't it?
Awesome?
This is really something. It's wonderful to go through this again, and you're just going through it here for the first time. With the ball club the way it's constructed at this point, Greg, you've got to expect that this team is going to be a good, solid ball club for many years to come.
I hope so. We've got a lot of guys that are hungry, and I just hope we can stay hungry the next couple of years.
And I think that's certainly going to happen. Good luck to you. Thank you. You had a great year. And Harry is sitting down there now with Rick Sutcliffe. Harry doesn't have any champagne on his head, Rick, so you might want to do the honors. Mike, Okay, Mike, I got Mike Bilecki here, another man who just tried to kill some of the people in here. But you had a wonderful year. You threw the ball exceptionally well. At this point, knowing your ball club has clinched it, is all the pressure off, or you're looking ahead to the playoffs?
Well, I think the pressure's been building for the last couple of weeks. It's been, we didn't walk away with anything by far, and the St. Louis Ball Club, they just came out and they kept giving us our run for it. But it's just a great feeling being here, and especially when the expectations coming out of spring training weren't so high. We had a lot of guys that had great years, and it wasn't one or two guys that got us here. It was a total team effort, and this is just probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
Have you ever had a chance to have all this champagne in your eyes like this celebration?
Never. But I have to pitch tomorrow, so I got to watch myself, but I'm not going to get away from the fun tonight.
Well, this is really something. You see everybody finally with all the tensions which have broken loose, and the fact that this ball club has finally set out to do something that they pointed toward from spring training. But you were a part of this club in spring training, just battling to make the starting rotation. You've seen yourself now come of age as a pitcher in this year. It's got to give you a special feeling to be part of a winning effort and to know that you're one of the big three as far as the starters are concerned.
Oh, it's a great feeling. Number one, just being a National League East champion. The reason I had such a good year is all those guys out there having fun. I couldn't have had it half of the year if it wasn't for everyone out there. I didn't think I was going to have such a good year, but we didn't think our ball club was this good. But we're one pretty darn good ball club. There's a lot of hard work, and I'm just glad to be a part of Chicago Cubs, and just glad to be a part of Chicago.
Mike, you kept knocking off your nearest competitors game after game after game. Every time someone came up to make a challenge, you were the team that knocked them off. So going into this game, was there a special feeling?
I think it was a special feeling because we had Greg going out there tonight. We didn't know what was going to happen with the St. Louis and Pittsburgh game, but we know we had a real good chance to win with Greg. I mean, he's such a competitor, and if we want someone out there, it was him. And he just did such an outstanding job. And I think the closing this thing up with Mitch, I mean, he's been our hammer all year, and it was just fit. It was the last piece of the puzzle, and just everything worked out. We knew when we got Mitch in the ballgame that was going to be it.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, Steve.
And let me talk to Andre Dawson now, another man with a big part in this one. And Andre, congratulations to you. It was a great year for you, and it had to be a special feeling. You come back to the park you spent so many years, and you see your ball club now clinching it. What did you feel like as you were watching that ninth inning unfold?
Well, I just hope that the leadoff man didn't get on, because they're going to bring Nixon in. He's going to try to steal a base, but Greg Maddox threw a heck of a ball game. He's a competitor if I ever saw one, and it was only fitting for Mitch Williams to come in and close the door, and for one time he made it a little easier for us.
Andre, you've been through celebrations like this, but have you ever seen a team let it all go like this team?
Not at all. These guys have a reason to be elated, delighted. We weren't picked to go anywhere, and I think, we've taken the world by surprise, and I think, Steve, this is just the beginning.
Well, Andre, we hope that it is. Congratulations to you, and right now, we're going to go to Harry Carey.
Hey, we got all the executives here. Charlie Brumback, did you ever think we'd win this year?
Of course, Harry. This is a great year.
From spring training on, right?
Not from spring training on, from a little later than that.
Isn't this a tremendous evening?
Oh, spectacular. A great evening for the fans back in Chicago. I'm just sorry they couldn't be here.
And you should have seen the fans around the Jim Donald head of Continental Broadcasting.
Remember what you said in spring training? This could be the longest year of your life. Ye of little faith.
Wasn't this tremendous?
Fantastic. One of the great events. That's just great.
Here's the guy, Andy McKenna. We've been up on both sides of the fence. On the south side, on the north side.
I like this side, Harry. It's great. It's a great year. The Bears will be number one in the Cup.
Hey, Jim, great, Jim.
Thank you, Harry.
Let me
He can't hear.
We want to talk. I want to talk to you. John Madigan.
Unbelievable.
Congratulations.
Just unbelievable.
Did you ever think this would happen so soon?
Well, next year maybe. Don said maybe next year, but he held back on us. He wanted to do it early.
Now we got to go get a dynasty. Win about 3 or 4 years in a row, Don.
I'm going to worry about the night. I'm not worrying right now about anything until next Wednesday playing against the Giants.
Have you gone off your diet tonight?
Yeah, I don't know how I got that champagne in me, but I don't like it either. I don't like it.
Stan Cook. What do you think of it all?
I think it's great because Zim told me in spring training this was going to happen.
He told, hey, Sam, he told me too.
I thought we didn't say when.
Hey, listen, I'm going to take you. Where can we go together? I want to talk.
There we go. I'm not going to no bar.
No, I mean here somewhere. Where can we go? Steve.
I'm here with Mark Grace, and Mark Grace, a big part of this ball club, a man who was absolutely not only a cheerleader a lot of this year, but a man who came together with a phenomenal year. And Mark, you said it finally happened. It did happen. How's everything going for you? Did you get a little champagne over your head?
Oh, man. This is unbelievable, Steve. I've never been this happy since my wedding day. Hi, Michelle. We did it, Steve. We did it. This is unbelievable. We beat the odds. And I've never tasted, I hate champagne, but I love it tonight. This is, what a group of guys, man. I mean, unbelievable.
Well, you said the ninth inning took a little longer than you'd have liked it to take because of Tom Foley leading off with a base hit. What were your feelings out there?
Well, I knew when they pinch ran Otis Nixon, I knew he was going to steal a base. And they bunted him over, and then he stole third. And Mitch struck out Mike Fitzgerald to end the ball game, and we're National League Eastern Division champs. Steve.
And that you are. But right now, we're going to cut back to Wrigley Field, where the excitement is going on.
Steve, you're looking, this is Steve Sanders live at Wrigley Field. You're looking at the intersection of Clark and Addison, where absolute pandemonium has broken out. At least 1,000 Cub fans have poured into the streets. They're out there. They're blocking the intersection completely, as you can see. Now, this shot is from the top of the Cubby Bear Lounge. They're gathered on the sidewalk in front of Wrigley Field and just about everywhere they can get. Chicago police had said this was not going to happen. They had a contingent of about 200 officers here in an effort to keep the crowds away. They tried for about 5 minutes. In fact, they had a half a dozen mounted patrolmen here trying to hold the crowds back, but it appears they've simply given up. This is one jubilant crowd here tonight, and it looks like they're going to be here for some time to come. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of traffic, lots of folks honking their horns, and the crowd noise is absolutely deafening. So a joyous occasion here tonight at the friendly confines. Steve, Harry, back to you in Montreal.
Les Lancaster, a big part of this celebration, and Les, you got sent down early. It had to be disappointing to you. You worked your butt off. You got back here, and you've been nothing less than sensational since you got back to the major leagues. This year has to be somewhat of a vindication for you.
Oh, yeah, it was. I mean, it was disappointing getting sent down, but I guess it's like a skies and blessed, you know. I was down there, I worked what I had to work on, came back up here, was able to help the club out right away. And, you know, it's just some of the breaks that's been going our way this year. You know, the pitching's been outstanding, and the 24 guys that's been up here has done unreal. You can't never count one guy out, and you never can count us out.
I know Zim had a long talk with you in the outfield, one of the games in Wrigley Field. Was he talking to you about why they sent you down and what transformed you into the pitcher that had an ERA just over 1 for the majority of this season?
No, he was just talking about the weird things that's been going on this year, you know, in the organization. He said, you know, never know what I might be, you know, without Pat being on the DL. He said, I come up here, have done an outstanding job for him, and I've helped him out in the race, and that's all I've asked of him, and that's all he's asked of me.
Well, Les, you did a great job. Congratulations. Go celebrate. Become a part of this. We're going to commercial, and after that, Harry's going to be back with a talk with Don Zimmer.
So, Zim, what is it, about 45 years now?
That's right, Harry. 41, 42 years. I've had a lot of things happen to me in baseball. Some's been good and some's been bad. I've hit Grand Slam homers in the major leagues. I've been on world championship teams. And I can honestly say that out of all the years I've been in professional baseball, this is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me in the world and in the greatest city in the world and the greatest fans in the world of Chicago.
You know, Jim, there's no doubt about it. You paid your dues. Nobody's had more ups and downs, and now here you are, the greatest time of your life.
Well, Harry, you know, when we knew in about the 6th, 7th inning, we got a 2-0 lead, and we heard that the Cardinals got beat, I knew the worst we could get today was a tie, and that's the best I've had in baseball, is a tie in the major leagues. And we went on to lose in Boston after a tie in a one-game playoff. But I don't have to worry about no more ties next Monday. I know we play the Giants next Wednesday, and that's what it's all about. And I couldn't be more prouder of this ball club, because whenever there's been a team effort, in all the years I've been in baseball, this has been a team effort.
You know, the people of Chicago have taken you to their bosoms like they've never taken anybody else. I've called your face, and Arnie has called your face the most expressive in television. You know that?
Well, I guess when you got a puss like this, Harry, it's pretty tough to miss, and I guess that's why everybody recognizes me when I go into Chicago. There's not many faces like this, I guess, in the world. And what else can I say? I'm not going to Hollywood to win any beauty contest, that's for sure.
I tell you, let me ask you this. When did you really feel that what you were trying to do was starting to grow and starting to develop among your team? I know it was nothing. It's something that you had to start working on from the time you took over this ball club. I know you got rid of guys that you knew didn't fit in.
Well, we got rid of 3 or 4 guys. Jim Fry and I decided it wasn't going to do our club any good. Negative people. We didn't want negative people around. If we were going to win or lose, we didn't want the negative people around, and we got rid of them. Spring training is where it all started. We start working on little things that I told them we would have to do to be competitive. And I can honestly say, I probably managed harder this year than I ever managed in my life, because we had to do things to make things happen. And you always got to remember, I can call for something to happen, but the players got to execute it. And over the period of 162 games, I love them all because they went out and tried to execute and did one heck of a job doing it all year.
Yeah, but it took some time, though. It didn't happen like that.
No, it took some time, and we got a lot of new faces throughout the season by injuries and by other things. And it just seemed like every time Jim Fry added a little piece to our ball club, they did a great job. And that's why I say I've been in baseball all my life. I've never seen a team with so many people of 25, 26, 27 guys get the job done like this team did.
You know, Jim, right outside here, when you guys came into the clubhouse, there was about 2,000 people all cheering and yelling. They had made the trip, I don't know, from Chicago, where they came from, but they're here to pull for you.
Well, I know one thing, Harry. When we come in this clubhouse and even out on the field, I was kissed more times today than I've been kissed by my wife in 38 years.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to Steve.
We've got a very young battery here in Rick Rona and Steve Wilson. 2 guys who didn't figure to be here the whole year. 2 guys who have really contributed to this team. And, guys, you're 2 of the big parts. This team is here. Tell me a little bit about what this season has meant to you.
Well, it's just meant so much. First of all, both of us were rookies, and, I think the big thing was probably both of us weren't expecting to even be here. I was just trying to make a good impression on everybody in spring training, and things worked out really well, and I made the team. So just to be a part of this team, and the most satisfying part is the way that everyone came together. We've become such a close team, and it was really nice just to be a part of it.
And Rick, you came in under the most extreme circumstances. Damon Berryhill went down. You and Girardi had to take the lion's share of the catching. You responded perfectly. A big triple tonight. I guess it couldn't have worked out any better for you.
Yeah, thank you. But I just want to tell Damon and his family what a big part he played in this season. We would not even be close to having this moment right now if it wasn't for Damon Berryhill carrying us through the main part of the season. And unfortunately, I'm here with the Cubs right now because of his injury, but he's certainly a big part of this ball club.
Guys, you have a tendency to get a little spoiled. You're in your first year. Here's a clubhouse celebration. There are guys that played for a lot of years, namely one Ernie Banks, who never saw anything like this. When you look around and see what your teammates are going through right now, have you ever been with anything that resembled the kind of team that this is?
Not my whole life. I've never been with a group of guys that's come together and really represented the work team. I mean, this, you talk about all the other teams in our division. Everyone picked them because of the talent they had, but this team here really conveyed the true team spirit. I mean, everybody on this team contributed. Rick Rona, the guys that came up from the minor leagues,
everybody. It wasn't just one or two guys. Everybody contributed, and that's another, it's just so nice to be part of this group of guys.
Well, guys, congratulations to you. They're not only going crazy here, but back in Chicago, Jimmy Williams. I'm here with Vance Law and Ryan Sandberg. And first, Vance, this had to be really something coming back where you played a lot of baseball for the Expos and wrapping it up here.
It really means an awful lot. It was nice that we've got 4 guys on this ball club that once played with the Expos, and be able to come up here and take it away and clinch it right here is great. This man right here, he's been outstanding all year, and I can't say enough about this whole ball club. Everybody's contributed, and that's been a mark of this team the entire year.
Rhino, you've been a leader this entire year, having a banner season, maybe even in some ways better than 1984. Did you feel like this year was a little something special when you started getting it going the second half?
No doubt about it. A lot of enthusiasm from the young players this year, and just a lot of hustle, and just a great feeling tonight. I thought that we had a shot. I knew we had to play hard, and this is the biggest win right here.
Rhino, with everybody going crazy here, you were one of the few guys that saw this in 1984. Does it feel any different to you now that you're a little bit older? Is the quality of the celebration a little bit more?
No doubt about it. I can appreciate what we've done this year. In '84, I took it for granted that we were going to win for a couple more years, but it ain't that easy, and I can appreciate what we've done.
You can't take it for granted. How about these first-year players? They probably think they're going to do this every year.
Well, they might be spoiled this year, but, just a great job. Great bunch of guys, a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of hustle, and that's what it takes to win.
You guys were terrific. Congratulations to you. Enjoy the celebration. And right now we'll go back to Scott Sanderson. Scott Sanderson, who probably would reach these lights, is kind enough to get down so we can talk eye to eye. And Scott, in spring training, with you struggling along, throwing the ball well, looking at your ball club, did you think you'd be seeing it in person this year?
No, I tell you what, I thought I'd be watching on TV somewhere else, Steve. This group of guys have just been fantastic. They just haven't quit. And every single person that's standing down here tonight has helped us win. Everybody.
Is it somewhat of a vindication for you coming back off surgery? You won more games than you ever have as a Chicago Cub, and you're one of the reasons this team is here.
Well, I don't know about vindication, but I just remember a year and a half ago I couldn't walk. And so to be here and to be a part of it, I just feel like this is such a special group. I'm proud to be a Chicago Cub right now. These guys are the best.
And a lot of former Expos here wrapping it up in the Expos home park. That has to give you a special feeling.
Well, this is a beautiful city too, Steve. A lot of good memories, and this just adds one more to it.
Anybody you want to say hello to at home, looking on?
Well, I know Kathleen's watching. Honey, I love you, and thanks for all your support. You're the best.
Scott, it was a remarkable year. Congratulations to you. Let's go celebrate with the rest of the guys. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Hey, tonight the sign of the best is flying high at Clark and Addison. Way to go, Cubs, from your Chicagoland Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Cubs are the best. Way to go, Cubbies. Northwestern Chrysler Plymouth in Chicago.
Keep on go, Cubs. You're the best from McGarry Chrysler Plymouth off lawn.
Cubs win. Cubs win. Way to go, Cubs. Displays Chrysler Plymouth, Northwest Highway Displays.
The best is what you get at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Cubs Division Clincher, sponsored by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers at the sign of the best.
I'm standing here with a man who has got to be the Rookie of the Year, Jerome Walton. Jerome, you put together a magnificent year. 30-game hitting streak, taking over in center field. You're hitting right around 300. In your first year, it must feel like you're on top of the world.
Well, this is something I never would thought that would happen in my first year, to beat the Eastern League champs, and then also get a chance to go to the playoff, and then hope to get a chance to go to the World Series. It's just something that kids dream about. I used to see Reggie Jackson them doing the same thing they're doing now. Now I'm getting a part to do it, so I'm really happy. And I'm happy for especially the veteran guys that didn't never get a chance before until now.
I think everybody wants to know about the health of that leg. How is it?
Well, it's coming along real good. I've been working out real hard and just trying to get it health to know where I can go. If it's 90% or 80%, I think I want to be able to play it this last weekend and then get a chance to play in the playoffs.
Jerome, congratulations to you.
Thank you, Steve.
More good things ahead, I'm sure. And right now, we're going to go to a little piece that Arnie Harris put together. I think you're going to love it. It's a salute to the division winners in 84 and 89.
Tonight the rain is falling, full of memories of people and places, and while the past is calling in my fantasy, I remember their faces. The hopes we had were much too high, way out of reach, but we had to try. The game will never be over, because we're keeping the dream alive. I hear myself recalling things you said to me the night it all started, and still the rain is falling, makes me feel the way I felt when we parted. The hopes we had were much too high, way out of reach, but we had to try. No need to hide, no need to run, 'cause all the answers come one by one. The game will never be over, because we're keeping the dream alive. I need you, I love you. The game will never be over, because we're keeping the dream alive. The hopes we had were much too high, way out of reach, but we had to try. No need to hide, no need to run, 'cause all the answers come one by one. The hopes we had were much too high, way out of reach, but we had to try. No need to hide, no need to run, 'cause all the answers come one by one. The game will never be over, because we're keeping the dream alive. The game will never be over, because we're keeping the dream alive. The game will never be over.
Cubs win! Cubs win! Cubs win! Holy cow! One ball, two strikes. A pitch. Hey, Cubs win the division! Cubs win the division! Cubs win the division! Fitzgerald is out on strike. Look at that scene on the field. And underneath all that humanity is Mitch Williams. Look at you, talk about a mass of happy humanity.
Well, you saw it right here on Channel 9. The Chicago Cubs clinching the National League Eastern Division title. The celebration has begun. Next stop, the division or the National League playoffs. Well, it's not over until the Fat Lady sings, and tonight she is singing chorus after chorus. We sure don't have to worry about magic numbers anymore. The Cubs are division champs for the second time in 5 years. The clincher, tonight's 3-2 victory over the Expos in Montreal, coupled with a St. Louis loss tonight at Pittsburgh. In Montreal, the Cubs are popping the champagne corks in their locker room, celebrating the accomplishments of what turned out to be truly an unbelievable dream season. This championship is especially gratifying because no one last spring expected the Cubs to be anywhere close to in contention. Most observers had the Cubs, in fact, finishing in 5th place. The Cubs had injuries, they had inexperience at some positions, but they took it all in stride. They took on all comers. And tonight, one of the Cubs' major dreams has come true.
Well, if you take a short... Thanks. Our Dan Roan has undisputedly the most envied reporter's job in Chicago tonight. He's in Montreal. He's in the locker room. Don't know if he has on a dry shirt or if he cares. Dan?
Not very dry at all right now. Things are beginning to die down just a tiny bit right now, but not that much. Everybody's still basking in the revelry of the division championship, and Dwight Smith is here. One of the big stories, and a story, Smitty, that maybe typifies the whole thing this year. You were sent down after spring training, and Jim said he was very disappointed the way you played. You come back, you're hitting .325, and baby, you're the division champion.
Exactly. It's the greatest feeling of my life, you know. I credit Zim and Fry for giving me another opportunity after going back down to AAA, and I got back up, and I did the things I had to do to help this ball club win a championship.
Does it feel as good as you thought it would?
It's feeling better than I thought it would. It's been great. I can't never imagine it. My wildest dream, and these boys are coming up, and they're all over me, and everything is great.
Mini dog. The dog's barking tonight. All right, back to you guys in Chicago. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Magic numbers, what you call a 0.
Thank goodness we don't have to keep up with them anymore. Well, you don't have to.
Just some time off and just wait for San Francisco.
Bring on them Giants.
Oh, man, is this going to be a party town tonight. Do you believe it now? The Cubs win the East. Dan Roan standing by in Montreal. We'll get to him in a little bit. Let's show you the highlights first. Take a look. Cubs got on the board first. Don Zimmer was sweating some bullets tonight, but check this out. With 2 out and Sean Dunston on first, Rick Verona smacks one down the left field line off Expo starter Dennis Martinez. Goes for a triple. Rona's first of the year, but what's more important is that Dunston comes around to score. It's 1-0 Cubs. Zimmer in the dugout knew he'd need some more runs because one wasn't enough. Cubs got one more off Martinez in the 6th. Ryan Sandberg double. Dwight Smith drops one in front of Tim Raines for a single. Sandberg scores for a 2-0 lead. The Expos tied it with 2 of their own in their half of the 6th, and in the 8th, Rhino on first, Dwight Smith at bat. The Cubs take the lead for good. Harry's got the call.
There he goes. There's a drive in the right field. He's on his way to third. There's fumble now. Here he comes. He's going to try to score. Save! The Cubs have taken the lead.
To the bottom of the 9th with the dugout looking on. Mike Fitzgerald is facing Mitch Williams. Here we go. One more time, the final out.
Hold everything. The beads as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A pitch. Hey, Cubs win the division. Cubs win the division. Cubs win the division. Fitzgerald is out on strike. Look at that scene on the field. And underneath all that humanity is Mitch Williams.
And with all of that humanity at the party in the locker room is Dan Roan. Let's go to him. He's in Montreal. Dan, it's all yours.
Well, let me tell you one thing right now. The Sean-O-meter is at 1 million and rising. Sean Dunston, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm just happy for the whole Chicago Cubs organization, and you know we turned a few heads, and we just going out there just keep playing.
What a beautiful season for you individually. I mean, you were having such a tough time back in May and June, and now it's over 280 or something like that, and you guys are headed for the playoffs.
It's nice, you know. I mean, I asked the Lord to help me. Man, he helped me a lot, and man, I just thank God for my wife, my daughter, my parents, my brother, everybody, and the Chicago Cubs organization stick with me, knowing that I could go out there and play hard and do the best I can. And, you know, when you work hard, good things come out.
They did stick with you. Jim Fry just walked by and said, hey, I didn't trade you.
Well, I hope I don't be traded next year. Nothing. I'm proud to be a Cub when we was losing and now we winning. I'm so proud to be a Chicago Cub.
You're not getting traded by anybody. And I tell you what, the Giants are up next. You guys split with them 6-6 during the regular season. What do you think about that matchup?
The Giants outstanding, you know, well, man, just like us. Man, I just hope we just continue to play. I just hope we just continue
Gary
to
Barstow,
play.
ladies and gentlemen.
You know, right, have fun and do the best we can. You know, this is the first step. We're not thinking about the Giants until Tuesday until we practice into the gym, have a little meeting. Right, we're going to take it from there. Other than that, I just feel blessed.
All we need now is a little gravy. That's mashed potatoes, courtesy of Rick Rona. And I think we'll let Sean go. Here's about blinded by the potato man. So that's it from the locker room. The party continues. The Cubs are the champions. Now back to Chicago.
Now, bring on...
Next to nobody saw it coming, but after grabbing the division title last week in Montreal, the Cubs are about to make only their second postseason appearance of the decade. So at a time when Northsider fans are usually saying wait till next year, this time the future is now at Wrigley Field.
Hi, everybody, live from the Channel 5 rooftop on North Sheffield overlooking enchanting Wrigley Field. I'm Archie and Greco along with the one and only Jimmy Pearsall as we bring you the first of what we hope are many Cub playoff games here on Channel 5. The Cubs and the Giants in Game 1. Hey, it's good to see you.
I'm excited. I'll tell you why, because it's a financial pleasure for me to be here.
I tell you, made a trip to Manny's. You're looking good.
I won't cause your nose extension on this
I tell you,
broadcast
you got me on the edge of my seat.
We're on the edge of the seat here if we fall off. I want to tell you.
We better watch it. Everybody's on the edge of their seat as this place fills up. We got the Northwestern band. We got to go down there and shoot these guys. But the stands are filling in. This has been anticipated as probably one of the closest series in the National League Championship recent history. Everybody says evenly matched, evenly matched. How do you size it
Well,
up?
I feel they're pretty right. And I think the thing that you're going to notice is the fact that defense means an important part. Both of them, I think 124 errors by the Cubs, 114 by San Francisco. I think base running, both teams are not good base runners, but we have stole 124 base, they stole 87. So things like that, and I think the leadoff hitters have to get on base, guys like Walton and Butler for their teams. I think the third hitter very important with Clark and with Grace. Also, your starting pitchers. No, Ralph, is that his name?
That's his name.
That's
Scott
right. You just
Carell.
told me what his name. Scott.
The authority, the expert.
That's right. I talk like Harry. And anyways, I think if these two guys might have to win 3 games. I don't know. They're very important. Also, the guys that are going to lead into the guy that's going to close up, like Lancaster. Also, Leffert may not be able to pitch for them.
Right.
And then you got your guys that's going to pitch it. Petrosian for San Francisco and Williams. So it's these are the things that are important. Plus, the air tonight is going to be heavy. And these pitchers, I feel, will be stronger. Maddox's fastball will be much better because it's like April for him right now.
Right.
He gets that fastball, it will sink, it will be heavy. He has to get his breaking ball down. He's been fast in the bullpen.
Well, we'll see what happens. And in addition to Jimmy...
You're not going to let me finish, huh?
No, we'll finish
This
later. You
used to
got
be
plenty
my
of time.
show.
This is only a half
All right.
hour, Jimmy, okay? In addition to Mr. Pearsall and Tom Scheer and Rick Selinger and Bob
too many
Serrato will
guys
be
working,
joining
that's the
us
problem.
later. You know, every good team needs a guy coming out of the bullpen, and we've got the best in the Wild Thing himself, Mitch Williams, will be joining us as our guest player analyst throughout Cubs postseason play. And right now, to lead it off, Mitch is going to size up the starting pitchers as well and give us some insights to his thoughts as we start Game 1 in our first installment of Mitch's Pitch.
Mitch, both teams going with a 3-man rotation. I guess that's all you need, huh?
Well, with the days off schedule in between, that really is all that you would need because the guys that we've got can remain strong with 4 days rest, and I think that's what they'll end up getting with the time off in between games, so it works out well.
All right, Mad Dog, Greg Maddox going up against Scott Carelts. We all know about Maddox. What about Carelts? What do you know about him?
Well, Scott has a good fastball. He throws a lot of split-fingered fastballs, which, of course, is a Roger Craig specialty over there, and he's got a couple of breaking pitches that he throws, but he tries to keep hitters off balance most of the time with his forkball.
Now, let's talk about your state of mind throughout a ball game. First inning or so, you're pumped up, you're excited. As the innings go on, you got to get your head more into a game, don't you?
Well, I try to remain the same down there until the phone rings. My adrenaline is going to be running like crazy in these things, as it always does during a game, but for the first 7 or 8 innings, I try and just sit down there and be calm and understand that there's no sense getting pumped up for something right now. When the phone rings, they say get up, then it all turns on.
Is that pretty much the role of every player there? They know what they have to do, or in a playoff situation, do you think everybody tries to help each other out, give each other advice, be a little more attentive?
I don't know. Like you say, I've never been in playoff situations. I don't know how they're going to handle it. I'm sure that if we go out and play the way we have all year and just everything in the dugout will remain the same. Everybody's been very lighthearted on the bench, enjoyed the game. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to come back out the next day and play like we want to play. And everyone on this team is very, very relaxed, and that's what's so much fun about playing here.
That's the amazing thing. Yeah, sure, you got a couple of seasoned veterans sprinkled throughout the lineup, but how can young guys handle the pressure the way this team has?
Because I don't think we feel any pressure. I mean, we weren't picked to do anything. There's no pressure when you finish first and you're picked to finish 5th.
Yeah.
The pressure's on everyone else to beat the team that was picked to finish 5th. So we're just going out there having fun, and I think our veterans on the team, even Rhino, I mean, Rhino is a great guy, and he likes to do his share of joking, but I think he's done more laughing this year than he has in the past.
Which is strange for people on the outside because Rhino is perceived as being a quiet guy who never has much to say. His personality in the clubhouse is a lot different.
Well, Rhino's kind of a commando. I mean, he sneaks around and does his little stuff behind everyone's back. And he's been a real treat to be on the same team with him. I was really shocked that they've got this type of players that are superstars, and yet they're very down to earth and like to have fun, and that's what makes this team click.
All right, you say you don't turn it on until the phone rings. You get out to the mound. Maybe you don't have playoff experience, but you've certainly been in some big, big games with your finger on the trigger. Are you afraid that in a situation like this, you might overthrow that fastball? You might just give it a little bit too much juice and it gets away from you?
No, not in the least bit. I've had to deal with adrenaline now 300 and some times in 4 years, so the adrenaline's going to be a little more tonight, and hopefully all it'll do is add something to my fastball. I've been missing a little on my fastball the last month, and I think a little extra adrenaline of tonight will help it out.
What's Don Zimmer going to say in a pregame meeting?
I have no idea. Probably the same thing he said all year, go play ball. I mean, Zim is not one to, he doesn't treat any game any differently. I mean, they're all a baseball game, and that's all this really is. It's just a game. It's just played in October instead of April.
Got a feeling we'll see it. Good luck tonight.
All right, bud. Thank you.
Thanks, Mitch.
Well, I tell you, he has excitement in a bottle. Jimmy, he's going to figure in every one of these ball games. You got to believe that.
Right, and being around him makes me well. Because
What a
let me tell you
compliment
something.
that is,
He
I'll
says
tell you.
about relaxing. Let me tell you, when you cross those white lines, you better have tension and pressure, or you ain't going to play well.
Boy, you know it. Let's go across the ball.
Welcome to Chicago, Illinois for Game 1 between the Giants and the Cubs. And here in the Windy City, it is baseball bedlam.
Destiny, it says it all. The Cubs are going to win in '89.
Go Cubs, number 1.
Everybody picked us 5th and 6th, and we did it.
We did. No one thought we could, and we did. That's all that matters.
Chicago, we did it. I'm ready for the 1989 World Championship.
Last time I saw the Cubs play in a World Series, my father had taken me here in 1945. I remember paying $2 for a grandstand ticket.
The Cubs have to play the A's in the World Series because I definitely want to hear Harry Carey say Canseco.
It is a nippy 57-degree night at Wrigley in Chicago. Capacity crowd 39,000 on hand. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, and we welcome you to Game 1 between the San Francisco Giants and the Chicago Cubs. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. Coming up a little bit later on, Vin Scully, Tom Seaver will bring you all the action. Tonight's pitchers for the Giants. Scott Garrelts, a man who's made the tradition successfully from the bullpen to the starting rotation, record of 14-5, ERA 2.28 to lead the National League. And for the Cubs, 23-year-old Greg Maddux, after a slow start, he came on strong, finished at 19-12, earned run average 2.95. And this, a matchup of managers who know each other very well. Don Zimmer and Roger Craig, a longtime friends and teammates. Only 2 years ago, Zimmer coached under Craig at San Francisco, and their feelings about each other reflect great warmth.
Candlestick Park, you have heated back pads. And I was sitting in a game where we were losing 7-1. Roger always stands. And one day we're getting beat 7-1. The other team's got a man on second base. And he said, come here a minute. Well, I was nice and warm. Now I got to get up and go stand by him. The wind's howling. And he said to me, would you walk this man? We're getting beat 7-1. I looked up at him and I said, walk him. I said, you're asking me? I said, you get paid too much money to ask me such a question.
We talked in July when we were here that, you know, wouldn't it be something if we met here in the playoffs? And here we are. The one good thing about it, one of us is going to manage in the World Series.
And that winner will, guest analyst Mike Schmidt will analyze. We'll hear his thoughts on the Cubs and the Giants.
NBC Sports presents the National League Championship Series, an inside look. Brought to you by Honda, who invites you to test drive the new Accord. You have to drive it to believe it. And by Wendy's Old-Fashioned Hamburgers, the best burgers in the business.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field in Chicago, where I'm joined by future Hall of Famer, the one-time third baseman for the Philadelphia Phillies, Mike Schmidt, our guest analyst during the course of this National League Championship Series. And Mike, I know this is one of your favorite ballparks. We checked the records during the course of your career. 50 home runs at Wrigley Field. Only Mays and Aaron have hit more. And I saw your eyes lit up when you first stepped out of the field earlier.
Well, you should have seen them light up this morning when I got out of bed, Marv. I always get out and I look at Lake Michigan, and if it's calm, the wind's blowing out. If it's not, The wind's blowing in. Dead calm this morning. Great night for baseball.
But keep in mind, you're not playing anymore.
Well, you know, every morning when I wake up, I think I'm playing.
All right, you take a look at these two clubs. The Cubs and the Giants appear to be even in every department.
They sure are, and the numbers prove that out. The Cubs were 93 and 69 over the year. The Giants 92 and 70. They were dead even in their 12-game series, 6 and 6. They were 3 and 3 in each other's ballparks. The managers are great friends. That's all we read about, right? Let's hope they aren't this week, but they do the same things when they manage, all these crazy things. It's a real even series.
Are there any advantages either way?
Well, I think there are two distinct advantages. I think the Cubs are a much better defensive team up the middle. Of course, Uribe's a pretty good player, but if they have to pinch hit for Jose late in the game and put Williams at shortstop, I think they're vulnerable up the middle. I like the Cubs' young catchers, too. They throw unbelievably well for young kids, and they have done it all year. So I like them at an edge a little bit over Kennedy. Also, the depth. We're talking about two teams that are very even now. Most ball games will be close. When we get to the late innings, that's when the games will be decided. The Cubs bench has 500 more at-bats than the Giants bench.
Now, throughout the country, the Cubs are referred to as the team of destiny. How do you react to that type of phrase?
Well, not being a player now, I kid around about destiny. I think it might mean something, but inside those clubhouses, destiny means nothing. Pete Rose used to have destiny follow him everywhere he went because he was a great pressure player. In key situations, he always seemed to come up with that line drive. Destiny hangs around teams and people that do the little things, that know how to play the game, that execute what the manager wants to be done, that pitch well in clutch situations. If you were a manager, would you have a meeting and say, fellas, relax, destiny's on our side? No, you wouldn't do that. You don't want them believing that. Destiny hangs around winning teams and comes to all the victory parties. It's something after the fact.
I get the idea, though, that you give the edge to the Cubs.
Slight edge to the Cubs. You know, the Giants have the two greatest players in the National League, and Clark and Mitchell, and a great manager. But I believe the Cubs will win because they have 4 home games.
Cubs in
7.
All right. Mike Schmidt says Cubs in 7, but it has nothing at all to do with the Cubs being the team of destiny. We'll be back in a moment. The crowd continues to file in here at Wrigley as we close in on game time. It'll be Scott Gereltz for the Giants, Greg Maddux for the Cubs in game 1. Back with the introduction of the starting lineups after this from NBC News. Welcome back to Wrigley in Chicago. We're set for the rundown of the starting lineups. Let's go to the public address voice of the Chicago Cubs, Wayne Messmer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to beautiful Wrigley Field for Game 1 of the 1989 National League Championship Series. At this time, we would like to introduce the starting lineup of the National League Western Division champions, the San Francisco Giants. First, the manager of the Giants, number 38, Roger Craig. Leading off and playing center field, number 2, Brett Butler. Batting second, the second baseman, number 6, Robbie Thompson. Playing first base and batting third, number 22, Will Clark. Batting cleanup and playing left field, number 7, Kevin Mitchell. Hitting fifth and playing third base, number 10, Matt Williams. The sixth batter, number 15, catcher Terry Kennedy. Playing right field, number 25, the seventh batter, Pat Sheridan. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 23, Jose Uribe. And the starting pitcher warming up in the bullpen, number 50, Scott Garrelts. And the rest of the Western Division champion, San Francisco Giants. And now, here's tonight's starting lineup for your 1989 Eastern Division champion, Chicago Cubs. Here's the manager of the Cubs, number 4, Tom Zimmer. Leading off and playing center field, number 20, Jerome Walton. Batting second and playing second base, number 23, Ryan Sanford. Playing left field and batting third, number 18, Dwight Smith. In the cleanup spot, batting fourth, number 17, first baseman, Mark Grace. Hitting fifth, the right fielder, number 8, Andre Dawson. Batting sixth, number 11, the third baseman, Luis Salazar. The shortstop hitting seventh, number 12, Sean Dunston. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 1, Rick Rona. And tonight's starting pitcher warming up in the bullpen, number 31, Greg Maddox. And the rest of the Chicago Cubs, ladies and gentlemen, your 1989 Eastern Division champions, our Chicago Cubs. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time.
She stands alone on the corner of Clark and Addison, this dowager queen, dressed in basic black and pearls, 75 years old, proud head held high and not a hair out of place, awaiting yet another date with destiny, another time for Mr. Right. She dreams, as old ladies will, of men gone long ago. Joe Tinker, Johnny Evers, Frank Chance, and of those of recent vintage like her man Ernie, Ken the Lion, and sweet Billy Williams.
for Ronnie Sano, for Ernie Banks, and myself who performed here and couldn't bring that pennant home to Chicago fans. It's certainly a great pleasure for us to stand on the sideline and look out there and see the Chicago Cubs playing in the playoff game and, of course, playing in the World Series.
And she thinks wistfully of what might have been. And the pain is still fresh and new. And her eyes fill, her lips tremble, and she shakes her head ever so slightly. And then she sighs, pulls her shawl tightly around her frail shoulders and thinks, this time it will be better. Welcome to Wrigley Field, Chicago, and Game 1 of the National League Championship Series between the San Francisco Giants and the Chicago Cubs. Temperature in the Windy City, a warm 55 at this hour with light breeze 5 to 10 miles an hour, and the forecast fair and cloudy.
John, thank you very much. Here we are, Chuck Gowdy, Mitch Williams to the 36th and most important save of the season. Hey, it's wild and crazy in here. This is the best, and I thank God for being in the Chicago Cubs tonight. This is the best. God bless all you people in Chicago. God bless my wife and kids. I love everybody.
Well, you have a few more words now than you did when I talked to you right after the game. For the first time in your life, probably, you were speechless.
This has been too much fun. This has been... If you guys want to stay in here...
Wait a minute, listen to me. You celebrate in Canada and you pour beer. Where the heck's the champagne?
Champagne's all gone. We poured that already. But you guys were way too dry, and we don't play that here.
Don Zimmer, come on in here. Oh, baby, I'll tell you, was that a moment or what? I'll tell you something. I'll tell you, I've been in baseball for 41 years, and I've had a lot of ups and downs, some good and bad. This is the greatest thing, and I knew this, if this ever happened in the past 2 weeks, this is the greatest moment in my life of baseball, without a doubt. I've been on world championship teams. I've hit grand slam homers. I've been picked on all-star teams. I knew if this ever happened, that this was going to be the greatest moment in my life, and tonight it is. Well, tell me what you were thinking when Mitch Williams paid Mike Fitzgerald. I mean, what a way to end it on a strikeout. Tim, I don't know. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to run. I've been kissed more tonight than I've been in 38 years by my wife, that's for sure. And I loved every bit of it.
Well, you won't see us kissing you.
No, but I mean, these players have been something all year. They have pulled together. They've played together. And it didn't take mirrors with this ball club. These guys done this. I mean, they can talk about the manager. They can do anything they want. These are the players that done it, and they went out and done it in great style. Speaking of which, Andre Dawson, what can you say about this guy?
It must feel great to win this thing in Montreal.
Well, I've been asked that question. It didn't really matter. We just wanted to get it behind us. It just so happened that we were in Montreal.
This is your guy here. Well, let me tell you something. This guy didn't have the year that I know that he's capable of having and would like to have, but one thing about it, this guy goes out and plays as hard day after day. Start of spring training, he just is a battler, not only a battler, but he's just a great competitor, but most of all, a great human being. And I've always said that from the day I met him, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. One of the greatest human beings I ever met in my life in baseball.
Well, that's a great testament. You know, this is going to blow your diet, all this beer and champagne. Well, I'll tell you, their 90th win of the year, and there couldn't be a bigger one than this.
I agree, Chuck. Maybe if we have it ready, let's go to the videotape and the highlights, and we can sort of recreate how everything happened. Let's hear how the Cubs won.
There's something in the air.
What are we doing here?
Wait a minute.
Chicago's very own Channel 9.
What we lost. All right, we're back here in the clubhouse with Rick Sutcliffe. Well, what can you say that hasn't been said already, Big Red?
I'll tell you one thing. The rookies better get their rest because they're in there tomorrow. There's a lot of veterans that are going to have a rough day. I'll tell you one thing.
I just want to get through here, Mr. Sutcliffe.
clinched in Pittsburgh, that next night game was really something to see. There were a lot of bloodshot eyes in the dugout.
That was a giveaway there. I tell you what, in 1984, when I got to the Cubs, they said we were going to win. If we didn't win it, we were going to choke. In 1989, they said, in no way possible are we going to win it. But we did. I don't know how, but we did. This is the neatest thing in baseball I've ever been involved in. Hi, Robin. Hi, Shelby. I'll be home. I'll see you in St. Louis.
You know those fans in Chicago going wild and crazy right now.
I'm telling you, you start with everyone here. Tomorrow we vote on sheriff, and I guarantee if there's any way we could, we'd vote the Cubs fans a full share. I mean, it's like having a 10th man on the field. Look at the attendance this year. Look at the support. Look at the crowd here in Montreal. Now, in 84, we didn't play a whole lot of games on the road. We might not have hit in the bottom of the ninth, but it seemed like the majority of the people were for us. They weren't here in Montreal in 1984, but we had them here tonight. When the St. Louis score went on the board, you see the reaction?
Well, you'll have them with you in San Francisco. You can count on that.
You know that. We know that's right. I hope they got their tickets already.
All right, son. I'll be counting on you for a couple of those tickets.
Timmy.
Good luck, buddy.
Paul Assenmacher, relief pitcher. Before the game, you told me that you've been carrying a 4-leaf clover in your back pocket for the last week since a Chicago fan gave it to you. You have it with you?
Matter of fact, I do.
Let me see it. This is live television. Where is this thing?
I don't know. I broke it during the game because I was rubbing it, a little hard, and the stem came off. It's a little crispy still.
Should have just told us that cigar.
Yeah, well, let me put it. There it is.
There we go. And that made all the difference. That made all the difference, huh?
Well, a lot. It helped. It definitely builds your character and confidence out there when you're out there on the mound, and when you're on the bench, you got this baby working for you, rooting for you, and it did the trick tonight, I think.
You buy that? Well, in any case, a 3-2 win tonight, and the Cubs clinch it. St. Louis now out of the picture. You better put that back in the envelope because you still have a few more games to play.
Well, yeah, it was nice to get this over with, and now we got to play the Giants, I guess, and let's pay Paul to San Fran with me as well.
Show Rick Roney. I need a fresher one.
This will get a little dry.
How long you had that?
For about a week now. Hello. I see it. 4 in a row. I couldn't score. Did we lose last night? No. We won the last game against Philly, and we won 3 in a row against
You're right. I don't mean to interrupt this conversation here. You're having it in front of about 1 million people, though.
Well, I'm just explaining to him because he didn't know the story behind it and everything.
That's all right. Now put that thing away. Save it because you still got a couple of games.
Okay.
All right.
And we mustn't forget that Rick Rona, you figured in that very first Cub run with that triple. So it's what a great feeling to contribute to a monumental, historic moment like this.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's one thing just to be out there and enjoy the moment with the team, and it's even greater moment in my life to be able to contribute by driving in the first run of the game.
Right. Well, now it's only the beginning, isn't it? Because
sure, we've got a big series with San Francisco, and they're a good ball team, a good power hitting team, but we got some good pitching for. We got some pitching for
it's my friend Mark Grace. I don't know what I'd do without you, buddy. I'd be too dry. I'd be the driest guy in Montreal without your help.
I don't want to butt in on your interview, but you guys were way too dry. Not in this clubhouse.
Hey, what about it? What about it? I mean,
no Weigel Wieners tonight.
Oh, are you kidding me? The whole Montreal Expo Club gets the Weigel Wiener. You got to be a happy man.
Oh, I'm very happy. This guy. How about that double?
Triple, please. You're shortchanging him. Jeez. Give him some more beer for that.
Tim Raines.
Yeah, he does. Challenge Tim Raines' arm.
I'll let you know.
It'll cost him.
How about Ryan Sandberg?
In the middle of all this, it seems odd to see Ryan Sandberg. I mean, this is the guy who you would never expect to have messed up hair, right?
That's an error.
Hey, I'll take messed up hair tonight. We're celebrating. We've been waiting for this win for the longest time, and this is unbelievable.
Is this a different feeling than '84 for you?
Well, I think I can appreciate it a little bit more. Second time around, it's been 4 years, and
wow! I said get Gowdy, not Sandberg.
A lot colder than '84.
Woo!
Look at this. I'm the guy in the suit. Hey, you can have it after tonight.
Well, we we've done something special, and I can relate to that more this time around than the first time around.
You know, this celebration, though, is not the end all. You guys still have a job to do out there in the next week or so.
No, we realize that, and, you know, tonight's the night to celebrate and get it out of our system. We know that we got some work to do, a lot of work to do, and a lot of games to play left before we reach our goal. And we're just going to keep battling and keep playing hard.
Well, you're dripping all over this thing. I'm going to let you go. Ryan Sandberg, thanks very much.
Congratulations, Rhino.
And we will come back here in a few minutes, I would imagine. I don't think this thing is going to end for the next few minutes.
And we're not ending either. We'll be back, but in the meantime, we'll toss it back to you folks in Chicago where you're nice and dry. Tim, many of us do know that the Cubs won. Well, of course we did. And Scott Sanderson, you know, I've heard of getting champagne and beer on the head, but you just got some mashed potatoes, man. Everything's flying in here, Jim.
We've gone the full course. We've gone from champagne, now we're down to mashed potatoes.
What's next? The water, the finger bowls?
I think there's some ice cream left.
Scotty, you were here, obviously, in '84 when it happened before. Now, how does it compare then and now?
Well, I think the last month of the season in '84, everyone knew we were going to win it.
Right.
We just had a far superior team then, and we were really, we were kind of pushing people around the division. There was no question that we were going to win it. I think for the last 3 weeks here, I think everyone's been given reasons why we couldn't win it. So the expectations, I think, were completely different. That just makes this all the more special. It really does.
Well, it also sort of makes you realize that there's some more yet to be accomplished. That team in '84 got into the playoffs, and then we all know what happened after that.
That's right. The last 3 weeks around here, last 2 weeks around here, I've just been trying to tell everyone, and we'll repeat it again tomorrow, let's keep on believing in what we've done to get here and quit listening to what everyone says we can't do, you know, anything going any further. And that's really the attitude we've had. We've all been really supportive of each other. We've been encouraging, and I think that's what it's all about.
All right, Scotty, have a ball tonight. We'll see you out here tomorrow. Thank you. Good luck the rest of the way.
Fashionable North Shore salons where you pay a big buck for a mashed potato treat.
Yeah, watch out for those flying mashed potatoes, Scotty. And incidentally, you know, we meant to go to that tape earlier of how the Cubs won this game tonight. It was a very exciting baseball game. So let's roll that videotape now. The Cubs 3, Montreal 2. The Cubs began establishing they are number one in the National League East when their own number one, Rick Rona, banged a triple past Tim Raines in left. Sean Dunston trotted home, and the Cubs led 1-0 in the second. Greg Maddux was on cruise control in the early innings, striking out 5 expos in 3 1/3 innings. And when Ryan Sandberg rattled a double off the left field wall in the 6th, later scoring on a Dwight Smith single, the Cubs seemed ready to pop the champagne cork. But the Expos had some ideas of their own in their half of the 6th. And when Nelson Santovinia's sacrifice fly knocked home Andres Galarraga, the game was tied at 2. But the Cubs' dynamic duo of Sandberg and Smith were back in business in the top of the 8th. Smith's single to right was butchered by Hubie Brooks, and Sandberg kept right on running to bring home the winning run. And then in the 9th, with a man on third and 2 out, Mitch Williams struck out Mike Fitzgerald for his 36th and biggest save of the season. The Cubs had won it 3-2, and the celebration was on.
On strike. Look at that.
Well, that's a moment you and I will remember for an awfully long time.
Yeah, you know, there was no celebration like that on the South Side tonight, unfortunately for White Sox fans. So
maybe next year, right?
So Tim dispatched Brad Palmer to Comiskey Park to find out exactly how things look from a South Side perspective. Brad Palmer is standing by there and has the story from the South Side. Brad?
Yeah, Chuck, I'm where the action isn't. The White Sox lost to Minnesota 7-1, and the 3,000 people who are here have now gone home. But they were interested in watching the Cub updates on the scoreboard. When the Cubs took that 3-2 lead, the reaction here was mixed. There were as many boos as there were cheers. But when it was all over, when the Cubs had clinched, all you could hear here were the cheers. The Sox showed the celebration up in Montreal on their Diamond Vision. A number of fans came with televisions. They were the diehard fans. They wanted to see the last place White Sox as well as the first place Cubs. And when it all ended in Montreal, this place erupted.
Oh, we've been watching the Cubs for the last 3 innings.
Your thoughts now that they did it.
Pardon me?
Your thoughts now that they've won.
Oh, I can't believe it. It was a great year. Great season. Two rookies here. 2 rookies of the year on the Cubs this year. Right.
Well, it was back in 1983 that the White Sox had a chance to celebrate. Since then, the Cubs have now clinched their division twice. The Cubs in first place, 22 games over 500, The White Sox still in last place and now 23 games under 500. And the playoffs get underway at Wrigley Field 1 week from tomorrow. Live from Comiskey Park, Brad Palmer, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. John and Marianne.
Well, Brad, this is JR here. Very nice of the White Sox. That's okay. It's been that.
This has been a hodgepodge
Yeah,
tonight, hasn't it?
it's been that kind of a night. Very nice of White Sox management to put the Cubs celebration up on their Diamond Vision scoreboard, considering the little minor feud that has gone back and forth between the South and the North Side. Thanks very much.
Okay.
Just a few.
I'm sorry I don't have a decibel meter with me, but I can tell you that this crowd, though small by comparison to 1984, is still plenty noisy and also very happy. They've been shooting off some fireworks here. Everybody cheers. They throw a roll of toilet paper through the crowd, and everybody cheers. They've gone through about, take me out to the ball game 6 or 7 times so far tonight, and they sound exceedingly good. It has been, so far, a very well-behaved crowd, far more sober than it was in 1984 when there were a number of arrests. The police are here in force. They did not want to get outfoxed this time around. I haven't seen anybody get arrested. In fact, I've seen some people going home. A number are watching all the live shots on their little portable television sets, prompting us to wonder perhaps if we went away, they would go away too. But they're having fun at this point. Live from Wrigley Field, Paul Mikey, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. John and Marianne.
Oh, okay, Paul, thank you very much. It's time for you to go home, Paul, and all those folks, I guess, at Wrigley Field.
This is live television. Where is this thing? I don't know. I broke it during the game because I was rubbing it, a little hard, and the stem came off. It's a little crispy still. It's over for that cigar. Yeah, well, let me. There we go. And that made all the difference. That made all the difference, huh? Well, a lot. It helped. It definitely builds your character and confidence out there when you're out there on the mound, and when you're on the bench, you got this baby working for you, rooting for you, and it did the trick tonight, I think. You buy that? Well, in any case, a 3-2 win tonight, and the Cubs clinch it. St. Louis now out of the picture. You better put that back in the envelope because you still have a few more games to play. Well, yeah, it's nice to get this over with, and now we got to play the Giants, I guess, and let's pay Paul to San Fran with me as well. Show Rick Roney. I need a fresher one, though. This is getting a little dry. How long you had that? For about a week now. Hello. I see you. I see you. 4 in a row? I could have scored. Didn't we lose last night? No. We won the last game against Philly, and we won 3 in a row against You're right. I don't mean to interrupt this conversation here. You're having it in front of about 1 million people, though. Well, I'm just explaining to him because he didn't know the story behind it and everything. That's all right. Now put that thing away, save it, because you still got a couple of games. Okay. All right.
And we mustn't forget that Rick Rona, you figured in that very first Cub run with that triple. So it's what a great feeling to contribute to a monumental, historic moment like this.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's one thing just to be out there and enjoy the moment with the team, and it's even greater moment in my life to be able to contribute by driving in the first run of the game.
Right. Well, now it's only the beginning, isn't it? Because
sure, we've got a big series with San Francisco, and they're a good ball team, a good power hitting team, but we got some good pitching for. We got some pitching for
it's my friend Mark Grace. I don't know what I'd do without you, buddy. I'd
way too dry.
I'd be the driest guy in Montreal without your help.
I don't want to butt in on your interview, but you guys were way too dry. Not in this clubhouse.
Hey, what about it? What about it? I mean,
no Weigel wieners tonight.
Oh, are you kidding me? The whole Montreal Expo Club gets a Weigel wiener. You got to be a happy man.
Oh, I'm very happy. This guy. How about that double?
Triple, please. You're shortchanging him. Jeez.
How many guys get a triple?
Give him some more beer for that.
Tim Raines.
Yeah, he challenged Tim Raines' arm.
I'll let you know.
That'll cost him.
How about Ryan Sandberg?
In the middle of all this, it seems odd to see Ryan Sandberg. I mean, this is the guy who you would never expect to have messed up hair, right?
That's an error.
Hey, I'll take messed up here tonight. We're celebrating. We've been waiting for this win for the longest time, and this is unbelievable.
Is this a different feeling than '84 for you?
Well, I think I can appreciate a little bit more. Second time around, it's been 4 years, and
wow! I said get Gowdy, not Sandberg.
A lot colder than '84.
Woo! Now look at this. I'm the guy in the suit.
I don't want to...
Hey, you can have it after tonight.
No, we've
we've done something special, and I can relate to that more this time around than the first time around.
You know, this celebration, though, is not the end all. You guys still have a job to do out there in the next week or so.
No, we realize that, and, you know, tonight's a night to celebrate and get it out of our system. We know that we got some work to do, a lot of work to do, and a lot of games to play left before we reach our goal. And we're just going to keep battling and keep playing hard.
Well, you're dripping all over this thing. I'm going to let you go. Ryan Sandberg, thanks very much.
Congratulations, Rhino.
And we will come back here in a few minutes, I would imagine. I don't think this thing is going to end for the next few minutes.
And we're not ending either. We'll be back, but in the meantime, we'll toss it back to you folks in Chicago where you're nice and dry.
That's right. Okay, Tim. Thank you, Tim and Chuck. I think Chuck knows now why he should be wearing a sport coat.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen Chuck Gotti with